The internet has made information infinite but attention limited. So guessing doesn't work anymore. You can't build campaigns, products, or strategies based on I think or I feel. You need proof, you need patterns, you need data. Because data doesn't care about feelings, it reveals facts. It shows what people actually do, not what they say they do. There was a time when decisions were made by instinct, a time when the loudest voice in the room won the argument, when authority was built on seniority, not on proof. Business meetings were full of opinions, some educated, some emotional, some untested. But the world has changed. The digital age has shifted the center of power from gut feelings to measurable insights. Today, data doesn't just inform decisions, it defines them. Every click, every view, every swipe, and every scroll, they all leave a trace. The digital economy runs on those traces. They tell stories of human behavior, preferences, patterns, and predictions. While opinions argue, data observe. And that has changed how professionals, brands, and even entire industries operate. The internet has made information infinite, but attention limited. So guessing doesn't work anymore. You can't build campaigns, products, or strategies based on I think or I feel. You need proof, you need patterns, you need data. Because data doesn't care about feelings, it reveals facts. It shows what people actually do, not what they say they do. Think of how decisions were made decades ago. Marketing teams relied on assumptions about what people might like. Leaders relied on intuition to predict outcomes. But in the digital era, intuition alone can be expensive. Today, a small startup with access to analytics can outperform an established company relying on outdated experience. The difference isn't resources, it's clarity. Data gives clarity. When we say data has replaced opinions, it doesn't mean emotion has no place. It means emotion without evidence is no longer enough. Digital builder, the remote professional, the strategist, they operate like scientists. They test, measure, analyze, and adapt. They don't argue about what might work. They find out what does. A social media post is not just a post anymore, it's a signal. A website isn't just a page, it's a conversation. Every view, every comment, every action tells you something about the person on the other side of the screen. That's the beauty of this new landscape. You don't have to guess what your audience wants. You can study their digital behavior and learn it directly. The biggest companies in the world aren't just product companies, they are data companies. Netflix doesn't choose what to create by guessing what people will watch. It studies watch time, skip rates, and completion percentages. Spotify doesn't rely on opinion to decide which songs to push. It watches what listeners repeat, save, and share. Amazon doesn't rely on intuition to recommend products. It reads patterns in your browsing and buying habits. These aren't just business strategies. They are examples of how data has become the modern decision maker. And this shift isn't limited to big corporations. It affects freelancers, creators, and digital professionals just as much. The designer who studies engagement analytics learns what colors convert better. The writer who analyzes click-through rates learns what headlines attract attention. The entrepreneur who tracks audience retention learns how to hold interest longer. In every case, decisions guided by data outperform opinions built on assumption. Data has become a language. Those who can read it, translate it, and apply it make better choices. It doesn't mean everyone needs to be a statistician. It means everyone needs to think in patterns. The question isn't what do I think will work, but what do the numbers show me about what's actually working? That simple mindset shift transforms how you approach everything, from business to communication to creativity. And it's not about removing human judgment, it's about informing it. Data provides the foundation. Judgment gives it direction. When you combine both, your decisions gain balance. They become creative yet calculated, visionary yet verified. The most successful digital minds aren't cold data analysts. They are warm thinkers who use data as a compass, not a cage. The danger comes when people resist this evolution. They cling to the way we've always done it, ignoring the signals right in front of them. But the digital world doesn't wait for the late adopters. It rewards those who listen to what the numbers are whispering. Because in an ecosystem where everything can be tracked, ignoring data is like closing your eyes while driving. You may still move, but you're staring blind. Data reveals truth we'd often rather not face. It shows when our favorite ideas aren't resonating, when our audience isn't responding, when our assumptions were wrong. But that's the gift. It gives you the power to adjust before failure becomes final. It turns every misstep into a lesson and every setback into insight. That's how digital professionals grow, through informed iteration. Even creativity has evolved through data. Artists, writers, and designers are learning to blend inspiration with information. They study engagement metrics, audience demographics, and platform behavior, not to copy trends but to understand what resonates. Creativity guided by data doesn't become robotic, it becomes relevant. It speaks to the audience with precision. This shift also changes how leadership works. The digital leader doesn't just say, "I think this is right." They say, "Here's what the numbers reveal, and here's how we respond." It's not about eliminating intuition, it's about grounding it. It's about transforming leadership from guesswork into guidance built on real-time intelligence. In this data-driven world, feedback is instant. You don't need to wait months to see if a strategy works. You can measure performance in hours. That speed of insight has redefined agility. It allows professionals to pivot faster, optimize smarter, and reduce waste. Decisions that once took months can now be made in minutes because the evidence is right in front of you. The digital economy is, at its core, a feedback system. Every like, share, or purchase is information. Every unsubscribe, bounce, or drop off is a signal. The people who win are those who can read those signals with clarity and respond intelligently. They build based on data, not ego. They learn to separate what feels good from what works. Data doesn't just replace opinions, it democratizes decision making. It gives everyone access to truth. In traditional systems, power belongs to those at the top, but in digital systems, power belongs to those who understand the numbers. It's no longer about who speaks the loudest, it's about who interprets the evidence best. And maybe the most beautiful part of this transformation is that it levels the playing field. You don't need a giant team, a massive office, or decades of experience. If you can analyze, adapt, and act based on data, you can compete with anyone, anywhere. Insight has become the new currency of excellence. The age of digital decisions is the age of clarity. Opinions will always exist. They are part of human nature. But decisions built on data move faster, last longer, and perform better. They turn uncertainty into opportunity and guesswork into growth. In this new era, the strongest professionals are those who've learned to listen differently, not to noise but to numbers. Because in a world overflowing with opinions, data is the only voice that never lies. And those who can hear it clearly will always lead the way forward. So don't just watch this video, like and subscribe to this YouTube channel and share it with a friend who's ready to thrive in the digital space.